Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Gashi's Kaman TV. Morara Kebaso has called out jobless Kenyans to assemble at Uhuru Park on March 24th. This is scaring, ladies and gentlemen. The level of unemployment in this country is alarming, is on a scaring level. The rate of joblessness in this country is cause for alarm. I want you first to see what Morara Kebaso is saying here before we give a critical analysis, because this meeting of the youth, because most of the people who don't have the jobs are usually the youth, with the level of unemployment being above 60% in this country, with thousands and thousands graduating from universities not getting jobs, coming at a time like this, it is very, very scary. Watch what Morara Kebaso is saying here.
Client yangu akikosa job, ama akifutwa job, ama akose do, ama bizi yake haifanyi poa, hata buy kwangu. Na asipobuy kwangu, sitaweza kulipa wafanyikazi. Na nisipolipa wafanyikazi, hawataweza kununua unga kwa duka. Ule mtu wa duka ata experience low sales, na pia yeye hataweza kulipa nyumba yake ama kulipia mtoi wake shule. Economy ina affect kila mtu. It just doesn't affect the poor alone. It affects even the business owners and the owners of capital. Nikipata kuboro do kwa bank ni expe na boro at 20-24% na profit yangu ni 15% ama ni 10%. Of course sita grow na sitaweza kuexpand biz na sitaweza kuongeza stock. Na kama siwezi grow, inamaanisha siwezi andika watu wengi. That is me as a business person talking to you to make sure that you understand how this economy has affected you and why you are jobless. Remember, when the government creates bad policies and promotes corruption and unfair distribution of resources, the end person that is going to suffer ni wewe. Kwa hivyo hii kitu inafai kuhusu. Ndo maana on the 24th March, on Monday, tuko na rally ya watu jobless Kenya mzima, including wale wenye wako na job lakini hawalipwi fiti. Watchmen, waitresses, waiters, mabouncer wa klabu, watu wa mjengo. Do ya mjengo bado imebaki 600 na cost of living imeenda juu. Vijana wako mtaani hawana kitu ya kufanya. And this is the real problem. Ndo maana jana niliwashow. Mkiongea about bad roads, je, mnakumbuka kwamba vijana hawana hata magari? Mkiongelea about SHA na how it is not working, mnakumbuka kwamba vijana hata hawana payslip hawakati hiyo pesa ya SHA? Kijana sahi akiamua kuoa, anaweza toa wapi do ya dowry? Inabidi ahepe na mtoto wa wenyewe. Vijana wameanza kuingizwa kuunda video na mapicha za pornography ili waweze kusurvive. Vijana wameingia kwa vitu yenye si fiti kama crime. Wameingia kwa drug abuse ili waweze kujikimu, ili waweze kudeal na depression na stress. On Monday, 24th of March, tupatane Uhuru Park. Na hii si rally ya wanasiasa, na hii si rally ya siasa. Hii ni rally ya watu jobless, wanakuja kufight for their right to live, work and grow in this country. Na believe you me, kwa hii budget ya 2025-2026, haitapita kama issue na agenda ya watu jobless haiko ndani ya budget. This time round, we will not request for jobs. We will force jobs. In fact, we will go in there and take what belongs to us.
Immediately he did this, the government started thinking about it. I've noted some leaders from the government side trying to plead with the Kenyans not to attend that meeting. I've noted that it is somebody that is splitting hairs. I've noted that the powers that be is watching what Morara Kebaso is saying because of the grave dangers concerned here. When he was the president, Uhuru Kenyatta warned this country about this kind of joblessness. He warned this country about the surging, the burgeoning number of youth And he talked about one thing, that we have to do away with the politics, focus on job creation through developing the economy. And many people were in agreement that time with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. This is what he said.
We have a youth bulge that, if not properly handled, can be a time bomb that can blow this country to pieces. And the handling of that has to be done extremely carefully. Extremely carefully. That is not a problem of this community or that. It affects us all. But how we manage it, we must manage it very carefully. We cannot manage it through inciting them. All right? We must manage it by including them in our decision-making processes. And that is why I said in Kisii during the Mashujaa Day celebrations, if we are to deal with our youth problem, we must deal with our economy. And there is no country in the world that has ever developed on a 5-year cycle of politics. You can never develop on a 5-year cycle. And if you cannot develop your economy, how do you create the jobs? If every cycle you spend one whole year, and in this case, in our case, it's 2 years, before the election campaigning, then you spend another 2 years after the election campaign trying to sort out the political mess, umebaki na mwaka moja ya kufanya kazi. Uchumi kweli tutapanua? Wenzangu, vijana kweli tutawapatia kazi? Yeah? Na ndipo niliwaambia juzi wakati tulikuwa tumeenda kuanzisha mradi wa hawa vijana, na nikawaambia, my friends, be very careful. It is very exciting and it is very sweet. But we must stop this culture of use and dispose of our young people, and instead develop and deepen a process, which again I want to thank these gracious men and women, because they have looked into those issues, of how we can systematically and in a very clear and thought out manner enable our young people, who are our future, to be a productive part of Kenyan society. And nobody can do that. I can't do it alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you agree with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta? Do you agree with his message? Let us come to the main issue of jobless Kenyans assembling at Uhuru Park on March 24th, as Morara Kebaso is calling. When I look at this situation, I can say one thing, that most likely the government is not going to allow the youth to assemble at Uhuru Park. Most likely, the security forces will seal off Uhuru Park. Most likely, they'll be armed to the teeth. They'll be armed to the teeth because if you look at William Samoei Ruto has been unable to manage the economy. That is the truth of the matter. William Samoei Ruto has been campaigning since he became the President of the Republic of Kenya. Indeed, William Samoei Ruto started campaigning in 2017. He campaigned all the way to 2022, and when he won the presidency, when he was sworn in, he was on rooftop of vehicles. he continued the campaigns. Last week, we saw him campaigning in Nairobi a whole week. Prior to that, we had seen him at the coast, Luo Nyanza, Western, and now the next destination is Mount Kenya. And Kenyans are very, very angry with this kind of situation. A situation where politicians led by the president, instead of working for the nation, instead of delivering the service to the country, they are campaigning. Number two, I would say about this is that there is no way the government can allow Morara, Kebaso to hold that meeting because the attendance would be massive. I've told you earlier that the number of Kenyans, out of 10 Kenyans, only 2 have jobs. And these that have jobs are underpaid. The nation is bleeding economically. The economy is not growing, ladies and gentlemen. UDA is failing this nation. Even when Raila Amolo Odinga is being brought into the government, he is coming just to save the face of the president, just to save the face of the government. But the truth of the matter, Kenyans are not interested with this politics. Kenyans are not interested with anything. Kenyans are just interested with jobs number 1, number 3 jobs, number 4 jobs, number 5 jobs, all the way. It is jobs. The government has been sending some Kenyans to work in plantations. And then the same government is importing wheat, whereby Kenyans are the people who are driving the tractors in those farms. And then some Kenyans import wheat, yet we have farmers growing the same wheat. And then they start crying that they have no market to sell their produce. Ladies and gentlemen, even if we are not economists, some of these things is just about common sense. It is just about common sense because there is no way the farmers can work all the way from January to December. When they harvest, then you find that there is a glut. The market is flooded with wheat that is cheaper. And it is the same Kenyans who have gone there to work. What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Kibaki was here and was telling us to, in fact, Kibaki was inviting the people in diaspora to come here in Kenya and develop the economy of the great republic. Because his focus was nothing but the economy. Today, Kibaki is not remembered by what he said, but the actions that he did. When I look at this meeting by Morara Kebaso, I can tell you, if the government is going to allow it, it will catch the attention of the whole world. If the government is going to allow this meeting to take place, I can tell you, Kenya will be a point of focus. It is going to attract even the international media. And I think this could be the greatest political party. And this could be the beginning of what Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was talking about, the time bomb. The burgeoning youth, the high numbers, the bitterness, the pain. We cannot continue like this, ladies and gentlemen. We have to work for this country. We have to produce jobs. I noted a number of companies. I was reading somewhere, I think 130, that are just about to close shops. Because even the working environment, the business environment is not very friendly. It is not good at all. Ladies and gentlemen, that meeting by Morara Kebaso should be an eye-opener. And one thing I've noted about our youth, they are so bold, nothing is scaring them. In fact, I was talking to some of them. They were telling me, what are you telling us? We have nothing to lose. Money is with the politicians. We have nothing to lose. That's the argument that they have. When you see, it is a state of hopelessness that is creeping or sweeping across our great republic. Not that you cannot make it. We can make it. But we have actually not done what is expected of us. In fact, if I may ask you one question, if you are to rate William Samoei Ruto's government economically, out of 5, just 5, where 1 is the lowest and 5 is the highest, what would you give William Samoei Ruto? Because if you ask me, I look at the education sector, failing. I look at the health sector, 0. I look at the agriculture, 0. I look at the business community, there's nothing to celebrate. It is pain after pain, ladies and gentlemen, unless this government do everything possible to put everything in order, because that is what we would want. In fact, if you ask me, I would like William Samoei Ruto to succeed. I would like him to succeed. I would like this nation to succeed. But it look like there is no hope. Do you think there is any hope? Guys, maybe you can let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching. And if you are here for the first time, this is Gashi's Comment TV. Here we analyze policies and politics as they affect our daily lives. Have a blessed evening. Bye.